on live stream. And I think it's up. Hello.
Yes, we are going. It's
There we go.
Oh, yeah, we are there. Okay.
I see it.
It was a blank screen for me for a second, but
Yeah, it takes like a second or two.
Live.
Woohoo. We did it! Hooray! Hi, everybody.
look at you all animated.
Playing
Blah,
on
blah,
my
blah, blah, blah.
feedback.
I have hands. My hands are moving. Isn't that cool?
That's very cool. Wow,
Such
like
a-
every finger is articulated. That's crazy.
I can even do peace signs, kind of. Do 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 do. Wow. Yes. Yes. And my shirt has somewhat physics. See my sleeves go? Do, do, do,
I'm
do,
hearing
do.
feedback coming from somewhere.
Somewhere. Oh no. Oh, wait, maybe my microphone is too high. Turn it down. a
No,
little
I
bit.
think no. I'm hearing a replay, but I just muted all of ours. I think no, I didn't. For some reason, the browser unmuted itself.
Oh,
Okie dokies.
I forgot what
Now
it was
that I've got
doing.
that. Yes. So this came out of nowhere, not nowhere, because they've been all these insiders are saying there's going to be an announcement about when they're doing the announcement for the announcement of the release date.
That's very Inception.
And then they just released the video releasing the release date this morning.
We heard you like announcements, so we decided to do an announcement about the announcement of the announcement.
Well, it's not that anymore because we have a
release date. Yeah.
We have a release date. Shocker if you haven't seen the video yet. This is coming out in September, for some strange reason, on the 6th.
What?
Now, I am a little skeptical, and I have this feeling that they set it up to be released on 69 for some reason that may have something to do with all those mods on the Nexus. I mean, I'm just saying it's really weird.
Pure coincidence.
You've got 69 in the release date. So anyways, we're going to mute ourselves and we are going to play the first half of this video, which is the trailer. We're going to show you guys that unedited, without talking in it. We're all going to watch it. We're all going to see it. Then we're going to pause before we get to the Todd Howard stuff, and then we're going to listen to and kind of chat about what Todd is saying. And then from there, we're gonna slow down the video to about half speed. We're going to rewatch everything and point out all the little tiny hidden things, which there is a lot. And we might be pausing and stuff like that here and there. So let's hit it.
Okay. I'm gonna hit play. Let me know how the sound is. Oh, I have no sound coming through. I don't think.
Oh, the video sound is not coming through the stream.
Yeah, nope.
Nope.
It is not coming
Hang
through
on.
the stream.
Hang on a tick. Let's see if we can fix this thing. Because I thought I just fixed it. I thought I did. Hang on a tick. all these things.
The
Oh my
Snow Shuttle
goodness.
says, no sound. The game isn't even out and it's already bugged.
Right.
Kikas says, by the way, hello everybody watching live.
Hi,
in the
everybody.
Live chat. It's great to see you all. Benny Carrillo saying, it's been too long since I watched you guys. Well, welcome. Welcome to the stream.
Right.
We went for quite a while without live streaming, but we're back doing regular streams now.
Well, I never stopped. We've been doing live streams constantly for the last year. Just not on the main channel.
Oh, well, technically Maximum News is not live, but
Technically. Okay, let's see what.
If you are looking for a great gaming news show, check out our second channel, the Triple S Podcasts. You can find the link in the description below, where you can hear every week Obsidian, and our good friend Max Darrett of the channel Max Darrett. It's just a coincidence that his name and the channel name are the same. They do a great gaming news show called Maximum News every week on Triple S Podcasts. Okay, by the way, slam that like button. Let's bring some more people into this stream. The likes we have found really do they encourage YouTube to share the stream around or promote it to people. So if you wouldn't mind slamming that like button as we get our technical issues sorted out here. How's it going there, man?
This was very, like, again, we knew that there was going to be some kind of a thing coming, but from everything that we heard from all of the insiders, this wasn't supposed to be a trailer. This was just supposed to be, hey, tune in 3 weeks from now, we're doing a big thing. That was what was talked about nonstop, was just an announcement of the announcement. So we thought we'd have an announcement. We didn't think we'd be getting an actual full-on trailer and then a whole bunch of gameplay. Like, we had no idea that that was going to happen. Of course, nobody had any idea about what Bethesda is, what is running.
Nobody knows what Bethesda's doing. Half the time, Bethesda doesn't even know what Bethesda's doing.
Apparently.
Or they're
play
just
and check.
Okay, yeah. I'll take a quick listen here on the stream.
Nope, I still don't hear it. For some reason, it's not playing on my headphones either. Like, I just restarted my computer before we started streaming, but, like, for some reason, it's like, whenever I do that, like, not only does it reset the settings for, like, my devices, but it also resets it for, like, my programs. For some gosh darn reason. This stupid OS.
So you can't even... You can't hear the video
I can't
yourself.
hear the video myself. And I'm like, this is very strange. Because, like, I thought there was, like, an option for, like, listening to, what do you call it? The desktop noises. I thought there was a setting for that on here, but,
Hey, we got Stacks of Arcadia in the house. We got Polly's. Welcome, everybody.
Everybody. I'm checking my... What?
Well, you might have a
I
point
think I
about...
found it.
Oh, you figured it out. Okay.
I think I found it. Here, I'm gonna play it again. We're gonna try this again. Third time's a charm, guys. Third time. Yes.
This is Constellation Star Station LO.
Yeah, and I can confirm it's coming through on the stream. So we'll all shut up now and we'll watch this thing.
The eye is showing signs over another one of those big anomalies. Maybe you catch a smile and uncover the source of it all.
Hey everyone, from myself and everybody here at Bethesda, we are so excited
So,
to finally tell you.
I feel that the game went... Pause it.
Yeah.
Pause it before Todd starts talking. There we go. So, I think we went from Fallout in space to suddenly, like Inception meets, what was the space movie with? All right. What's that guy's name?
Was it that? I know the Interplanetary, Matthew McConaughey.
Interstellar.
Or Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Yeah,
Okay.
So Interstellar is the vibes that I get from this. Like 5 Ways to Sunday. I feel that this is Interstellar. Now again, that's from the trailer that's not from the gameplay. So we're going to check out some gameplay here in a minute. We're going to hear Todd talk. We're going to give him a listen, and then we're going to back it up all the way to the beginning, mute the audio for it, turn it down to ×5 speed, and we're going to point out some stuff that we see. It's not a long video, so this shouldn't take long.
Okay. Play?
Yeah, let's listen to what Todd's got to say.
All right.
One from myself and everybody here at Bethesda, we are so excited to finally tell you when Starfield is coming out this year. You know, we have poured ourselves into this game, and even I'm surprised how much we can pour. It is large. We're playing the game all the time. Shout out over here to lead producer Tim Lamb. Old school fans, you may remember him from the Oblivion making of video where he's sitting on a similar sofa doing similar things. But also, this June, we're going to bring you into the studio and give you a deep dive in the game at our Starfield Direct. There's so much that we still have to show you. The game has many of the hallmarks that you'd expect from us, but it's also a very unique experience. And again, thank you all for all of your excitement about the game, your support, your comments. We really do read it all. And look, we know you've waited a long time to play something new from us. Believe it or not, we're kind of the same. We miss it, and we really just can't wait for you all to play it. So thanks, and we'll see you soon.
Ooh.
All right, so yeah, that's the big look. So now just mute the volume. You can just and then.
Well, any initial thoughts and reactions? We've got some
Lots to
reactions
point
in the
out.
chat. Notional saying center of the universe reminds me of No Man's Skyrim, and Stacks of Arcadia. No Man's Skyrim is what I'm looking for, not a big Fallout guy. You know, I am a Fallout guy. I love Fallout, but I don't want just Fallout in space. I want something... you know how different it feels when you're playing Elder Scrolls versus Fallout? I hope it's different in the same way. You know, I hope it feels like its own thing, and it isn't just, oh, Skyrim in space and Fallout in space. But I hope it's Starfield.
Or their take on No Man's Sky, right? Like, we don't want to see I do believe that, like, auto-generated content will eventually get to the point, so long as there's, like, you know, things are a little bit on rails as far as the AI creation goes, as far as, like, the auto generation goes. I believe that in the future this will be a core part of gaming, because you just like you most games, if you blow up their map into real world like sizes, it's not actually that big. Like it's literally not that big. How do you know it's not that big? Because you can run from one side of the map to the other, you know, in like 45 minutes. Right?
Now, characters also run faster than we can, but
oh
still,
yeah.
I mean, your point.
There's some weird physics. Like, there's a bunch of guys who do videos on like the real physics of like these video game universes that we're in. And again, I use this one because it's hilarious. In World of Warcraft, the average creature, if you were to take that world and port it over here, most creatures are about like 20 feet tall, and they run ridiculously fast. Some of them break the sound barrier in how they run, and again, that's just like keying up like proportions and stuff like that, and translating it over, because when you make a game world, it's really hard to like size things properly. And part of the reason why that's a problem is because you don't want to size something correctly, and then, you know, in real world stuff, and then you either have this boring, you know, run for 45 minutes to get where you're going kind of thing, or it's like everything that you can do on the map is like really, really close by. It's like Skyrim's not a huge map. It really is not. It feels big sometimes when you're in the game, but everything's within a bow shot of itself, right?
Yeah.
Like there's every bow shot, everywhere where you can hit something with an arrow shooting from wherever you are, is either an entrance to a dungeon, an NPC, a story, a location, a marker, or something like that. It's literally like super hyper compressed.
Yeah.
And so
What matters is that it feels big, though. What
Yeah.
matters,
Yeah.
because I mean, we don't want hyper realism. I mean, that would be,
It'll
'cause
take
then, yeah,
forever
you're
to get
walking for-
anywhere.
walking for half an hour to get to your next quest.
yeah, to
Yeah.
go from, I don't know if you know this, but to go from here to the International Space Station, it's a few hours to get there. It's not
Yeah.
it's not 15 minutes, right? Like it's again, if you cut that down to like just a 5-minute thing, going from a planet to a moon, somebody's gonna lose their mind on boring, like
Yeah.
that
You
kind of
gotta
stuff.
give them stuff to do along the way, or else, yeah, it just.
Exactly.
But we'll have like hyperdrives or whatever their version of, faster than light travel is and stuff like that. So it should be fine.
But and this is going to be a big test. I feel it's going to be a big test for that the pre-made computer generated stuff. Now they say that it's not computer generated, which is mostly sort of true. They basically set these like hyper parameters. They custom like a whole bunch of things on a world, so they're all in there, right? Every world has had somebody go in and give it some level of structure, and then have that kind of like have the AI like build out the map within that context, and then they use that to wrap it around a planet. So it's very genius stuff. And then some planets, like as far as I understand, almost everything on the planet has been has been curated. So like all the dungeons and all that kind of stuff, and those are going to be the main quest, like main location type locations, places and stuff. That's really important that they get it right. Then other locations are a little bit less of that, and then some planets are completely dead, and then other planets are going to have life. And we finally got a good look at some of the monsters in here. So let's
let's
start
take a look.
playing the video.
Okay.
And now this is, again, sound's going to be off, and we're going to be looking for the details that you don't really see when you're watching the video straightforward. What we're looking for is the key things that we can pick up as far as like what's going on and what the location is. First thing I gotta say, that first ship actually looks really interesting. It's kind of a very basic design, but it looks like really sharp. It looks really good.
Yeah. Here we go.
Are we
Oh, also, hi, Sunglare. Welcome. I'm going to click play now.
Okay, now we're clicking play. So we are now watching a silent version of the trailer on half speed so that we can really take in the world. And right now we can see planets are close together. Stuff is close together. The things that are there are really close together. I'm not seeing an atmosphere haze around some of these planets, but that might be because we're not close enough to see it. Then we've got our very as is space like docking thing. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good. This is where that center of the universe kind of thing feels. Dead planet, another dead planet,
Lots of rocks.
the center of something. This is not necessarily the center of the galaxy, but this is clearly, this object is what we're looking for, which looks oddly very similar to some of the Dwemer tech that we've seen in the past. I wonder if there's a connection. Like, seriously, I wonder if there's some kind of a connection. Then we've got the spin, like more of the spinny stuff. It's very, yeah, it's like it's like some of the Dwemer tech from Elder Scrolls meets Interstellar meets Horizon.
Wouldn't surprise me at all if the idea was that this is all taking place in the same universe. Fallout, Elder
Well,
Scrolls, and
Fallout and Elder Scrolls are now officially connected to the same universe.
that's what
by
I
a
thought.
loose-
I
by a
couldn't
loose
remember if that was
tie.
official or not, but
It's not official as in like they said it. It's official as in they have left some clues that are obviously very that are placed there intentionally.
that means that Wolfenstein, Commander Keen, all of those are in the same universe too. If my theory is correct.
Well, yeah, if your theory is correct. I think I don't think it's a terrible idea, but I do think that Fallout's got some weird stuff. So all right, so zoom into the left here. I don't know if you can do that, but if you're watching the upper left of Todd Howard's shoulder, you're seeing the guy playing the game, and he's on a planet, he's running. We can see that the animation's a lot smoother for running, both in first person and third person. It actually looks like, I haven't seen a jump yet, but it looks a lot smoother. The animation, the shadows, looks like way better than it did in Skyrim and Fallout 4, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those games probably feel. I haven't played them in a while, but I'm guessing they probably feel really janky right now.
Yeah,
They are
we
actually.
see
They're pretty
the
old
loot
games at this
window.
point.
We see the loot window when he goes up there and he he goes up and he opens the thing. We could see the loot window. We see him looking around. We can see him doing stuff. Their office is really kind of cool, and I love how there's just packs of people who roam the hallways, because that's always, that's cool. That's always how it's done. Nothing to see in some of this stuff, at least not directly. Here we've got a jetpack landing. There is a little bit of a land that he lands, and it kind of like he's like kind of scuffing to the side. In here we see a very iconic, like these two outfits, completely different style and thematically. One of them looks like it could have been like something from Fallout, and the other one looks a little bit more like something sci-fi futuristic. So yeah, we'll go back to that in a minute here.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the skill system. What? No.
Skill system.
What?
Where's the skill system?
Keep it playing, please.
Oh, keep it playing. Okay.
Now I have lost where we're at.
I'm at 149 right now.
All right. Well, let's just.
I thought I was pausing it when you were asking if I could zoom in there.
Nope.
My bad. Notional in the chat says, will there be Space Horse armor DLC, like for your hover scooter?
All right, so 202 is the old-fashioned looking like spacesuit, or at least it looks very like retro futuristic a little bit. So 2 minutes 2 seconds. 2 minutes 2 minutes 2. No, pause it.
Pause it at 202. Yeah, and very cool looking.
Yeah. And it's a little weird because they got this one that's a little like, it's a little bit more janky as far as like the general like outfit goes at 2 minutes 2:20.
It's like the hover thing said 202, but it was actually 204. It's at 202 now.
Yeah. So this one, again, it's like you've got these really cool windmills, which is like a really cool design. I really like this design. I do believe that this stuff is technically safer for birds. But yeah, then you've got his outfit there, and he's definitely got like this like big barreled pistol. He's got 6 something in it, 2,119 shells. That number is like, I wonder what's going to happen on the 6th month, the 19th day in 2119. I wonder if that's an important date. Maybe that's is that Elder Scrolls? Is that the next Elder Scrolls game that we're getting
In 2119. Yeah.
Yeah.
Release date confirmed.
Release date confirmed. I'm joking, obviously.
That's weapon stuff.
Then if we go forward just a few seconds, we look at the other suit that you were paused on there.
There we go.
Just like 204, and at 204 again, different kind of weapon, and different kind of more advanced looking sci-fi thing. And it's interesting to note that they seem to have a couple of different ways that you can hold weapons. So you can have it on your back, you can have it holstered on your side, and then you can also have it so you're just carrying it pointed down, and then you can be carrying it, prepared to shoot. That's cool. I wonder how that works, or if it's directly tied to the weapon. So there's some weapons that you're always holding, and some weapons that you're not. That's very interesting. I also think it's funny that every planet has a compass that's basically exactly the same. So that's cool. I wonder if we're gonna find any planets that have like a constantly shifting pole. That would be so confusing to work with and to like maneuver around. And then if we keep it going a little bit here, we can see the shooting mechanic right at 205, and to me it looks a little bit better. The gun is responding a little bit more, which is nice, which is good. You want to see that kind of stuff because that was kind of a complaint that people had. And then so all right, so my notes are, I got a couple. I've jotted down a couple notes. First person to third person is pretty much instant. There was one moment that he did that.
Yeah,
they have some really cool character cockpit animations. I'm not talking about a rooster. Running is much more smoother. They have this big showcase that they're going to be doing on June the 11th.
Yes.
Let's hope it's going to have a lot of good information for us. And just it's a lot more smoother. Just from everything that I'm seeing in the little window, and then also through the gameplay, which wasn't a lot of new stuff, but it definitely looks a lot smoother just in general. Like, I really feeling that the game is smooth. Like it looks like it's going to be a good experience. So that's good because if they've got that down pat, then everything else on top of that is it's just adding layers to a good foundation, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
your guys' impressions, what do you think? Any particular thing that you noticed that you want to draw to?
I just noticed there's like on the screen that I'm paused on, they have a quick weapons switch over there. So you can swap between weapons while you're on the run, which is kind
skills,
of nice.
Yeah, we've seen in the past that there's some skills there in that same system there. So again, it's looking pretty good. JC wants to know what's at 1 minute 27 seconds. He thinks there's a secret document there.
Okay. Boop boop.
Document 126.
Oh, what does that say? Can I magnify it?
Zoom and enhance. Just like CSI.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that is that is going to be, I don't know.
Please be on alert. I can't read quite the rest, but one line says, please be on alert. Urgent
I'm guessing
something
it's probably a script
urgent
of some kind.
communication. Yeah, yeah, it must be. So I see some brackets and stuff.
I see some red highlights for incorrect spelling, but which is probably maybe names. This I'm gonna have to see if we can like get this like.
Let's see. If
I gotta
can do, like...
try and find. I'm gonna look at the actual trailer in 4K and see if
Yeah,
we can.
yeah. So
Yeah,
so that's something that's gonna be some homework for us. But yeah, we're gonna expand that out, read that, see what it's got, see if there's anything, because it is kind of like, again, everything that they put into the trailer is there for a reason. You know?
There's no accidents here. It's not like he was like, oh, I didn't notice this guy was playing the game over my shoulder.
Yeah, and I'm really happy with a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing. I'm seeing a studio that looks like how it's supposed to look like, how it's supposed to be run, filled with people who are taking their job seriously, I think, for the most part.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the. Sorry, I'm gonna move my microphone here, but I'm looking at the document in 4K, and at the very top it says United Colonies logo at the top.
Ah.
Like that's the first line. It says United Colonies logo at the top, and then something else logo below to the left. UC Vanguard logo below to the right. Okay, so they're gonna have like a triangle of logos. Urgent communique. Please be on alert. Pirates of the Crimson something have extended.
Yeah, those are the pirates in the game. Yeah,
have extended the beyond the. It's
something
getting really hard
system,
to read.
And have established footholds in Sagan, Cheyenne, Lahara, and something both. Something and the Vanguard are committed to ridding United Colonies space of these parasites. This is clearly no longer just a free something collective problem. Also be advised that the Crimson something is not a single organized entity as a factor. Rather, it is a loose confederation of individual tag something.
Yeah.
All organized under the same banner. Shown here is the symbol or Jolly Roger. They've adopted. Anyone displaying the symbol is assumed to be associated with the Crimson Fleet and can be something. Crimson Fleet logo here. Any questions should be addressed to something's John something at something the Vanguard and Commander somebody something aboard the something Vigilance Force Sin something. And
so it looks like he's writing one of these in-game documents that we're going to see somewhere. This will be posted somewhere on a bulletin board, or we'll receive it as like a digital message or something.
It's a bounty.
Yeah. So this is one of those in-game lore things that he's writing.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So yeah, the pirates are going to be a big thing, I think, which will be interesting.
Pirates.
Because again, it's like, are they just going to be like the Raiders in Fallout, where there's no talking to them, there's no like reasoning with them, there's no nothing. Yeah.
Because is saying this document has been known for 2 years now. Okay, well, so it must have been shown at some earlier point, but
okay, well, all right. So yeah. So
in any case,
anything else?
Yeah, well, I mean, I am very much looking forward to seeing more than just dead, empty planets. I mean, what we have seen looks very cool, but again, I don't want Fallout in space. I want Starfield in space and on planets, and it's gonna. And I'm looking for. I mean, I'm getting No Man's Sky vibes. I'm getting Outer Worlds vibes. I guess it's kind of.
I'm hoping that what we see in the future is I don't want, obviously, if it's going to be impossible to have a full universe full of thousands of or hundreds of colonies and locations with like that many people to like named NPCs with like backstories and character and stuff like that, that's going to be impossible. to generate outside of like AI, but I am hoping that you can have a really good ship full of interesting people. So crew inside the ship don't always come out on missions. You can take one or two of them with you at a time, because that fulfills that Firefly, craving that I have. And with the ship customization, I am going to make a Firefly ship 100%. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to happen, and we're going to have a perfect little, well, not little, but a big crew of people on the inside at some point. This is what I want. I want this to happen. This is going to happen. I am excited for this. I want this to happen so badly. So yeah, there's that.
Also, Kikus TG in the chat says this doc was shown during early concept art video. I saw this dude and I remembered it instantly.
It is the same one. Yeah, that's what I was. As soon as you started reading it, I'm like, yeah, no, this is one that I've heard this all before. So that's annoying. I was expecting something hidden. Come on, Bethesda, give us some, something to sink our teeth into. Now,
yeah, they're being very restrained.
Yeah.
Now that we are getting the big reveal on June 11th, which and what I'm hoping to see there, I'm hoping to see more variety of planets. I'm hoping to see interiors of things. Maybe some of the faction bases, that kind of a thing. I want to see what this game looks like outside of just kind of the wandering the planets kind of thing. It was cool, in the background we saw a couple of different biomes. There was
Mooney, go to 220 and let it play very, very quickly at 221. There is a scene where they're on a planet, looks like sandy, palm tree.
Dinosaurs! I see dinosaurs!
Dinosaur-type monsters. Now, the one concern I have is, and again, I'm hoping that this is just really old footage, the dinosaur in the back skids a little bit. So if you play it and then you go back like a few seconds and play it again, do that over and over again, you notice that the movement is not smooth for one of the creatures. It seems to be like he shifts weirdly. Again, this is for a hyper detail orientated looking at, which may be a little silly, but he's got
his butt just doesn't drift.
Yeah, he drifts for 0.2 seconds, which is slightly jarring. Slightly.
This is why they don't show early footage of games.
Right? So, but I want to point it out because otherwise, I want to point it out. Otherwise, some people will say, "You're just shells." It's like, no, don't pre-order this. Wait until it's out. Wait until you get.
Oh, absolutely. I am actually I'm cautiously optimistic. I think that there's a lot of potential here, and if this can be kind of a mashup of No Man's Sky, Outer Worlds, and what's that other game? One of my favorite games. It'll come to me, but
Jurassic Park.
Not Jurassic Park.
I like Jurassic Park.
It's another space game. Anyway, a space game that really I love the Outer Worlds. It's a small, it's a far from a AAA budget game. It's done by Obsidian. It was a smaller scale title. They still did amazingly well with what they did with it. I get a lot of I get some of those vibes from this, and if it can be that plus more open, more Bethesda-like in its more Fallout Elder Scrolls-like in its openness, in its with its world physics, with all of that, plus the whole seamless enter your ship, fly out into space, fly to another planet, land your ship, and then get out and walk around without any loading zones in between. It's just this seamless experience. I mean, that should be fantastic. I'm a little concerned.
I do believe there is a loading screen between planets and space, or at least that's what we've heard. We don't know how bad it is.
Well, okay. I mean, if it's a short thing, like obviously they're not going to make you sit there for ages while you're traveling between planets. So I'm picturing they'll either like it would be nice if they disguise the loading screen as kind of
Yeah.
like going through some kind of a wormhole
remember,
or warp thing.
how they handle loading screens in Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 was actually pretty cool, and I didn't always hate them.
It was nice having you had something to do. You could grab and rotate whatever model was on the screen, and they would give you tips. It was, loading screens are not the,
Not the
Unless you
worst.
get the
Root of all
modded
evil.
ones.
Well,
'Cause
okay,
there's some
fair.
good modded ones.
But I love a game where you can just go from place to place without a
Yeah.
loading screen. It's just something really cool about that, especially as someone who played video games in the early 2000s and late 90s, and I would literally sit there for a minute or more waiting for Jagged Alliance to load my save because my main character got shot in the head or something.
I was just thinking of Jagged Alliance while we
Oh,
were
the loading
it.
screens on that game. The loading was so bad in that game. That's the reason I stopped playing Jagged Alliance 2 when I was every time I've stopped playing Jagged Alliance 2 partway through the game, it's because I just could not stand sitting through the time it took to load.
It's a lot better now, obviously.
Well, if you play Jagged Alliance 2 now, obviously it's super fast now.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I remember I have this memory of like a few years ago I installed Jagged Alliance 2. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna check it out. And I'm like, oh yes, these loading screens. I remember looking at that, and just as I went to click like play, the loading screen was there and then gone in like one of those like again like disjointedly like 0.0001 millisecond, and you're like, oh, I remember when that used to take time. Guess it doesn't anymore.
Nope, not anymore. But
so yeah, it's interesting. But at any rate, the world still.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, the world looks good, right? Like these are micro complaints from somebody like taking a fine-tooth comb and really scanning things out. The monster at 2 minutes 23 seconds. I was afraid we weren't going to have any like really cool, grotesque, monstrous creatures.
Really? You thought Bethesda wasn't going to have grotesque, monstrous creatures?
Yeah.
Spider claws.
Yeah, we got one.
I'm getting I get what are those things called? Like the mutant sea creatures from Fallout. I get that kind of a vibe.
These kind of look like giant face huggers to me, but without the tail.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a face hugger. I think it's a head hugger. It hugs your head and then rips it off of your body
and just takes it with it as a teddy bear.
Yeah.
To snuggle with at night.
Or maybe it just removes it mostly and then just drinks all that wonderful liquid that just yum 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 yum.
Nudge it forward just a bit, Moon, so we can see the gloriousness of the toothy suck hole that gonna eat your face up. No, you don't want to. Okay.
Oh God, too many teeth. Too many teeth. That is a very toothy boy.
Yeah, this thing. This thing I'd definitely need a new pair of pants if that thing was coming at me.
Good morning, Arturo. Nice of you to join us.
It's gonna be fun. I can say that for sure. It's gonna be fun.
Well, I look forward to seeing some more of the creatures, and I hope that there's been some creativity in the creating. I hope we see some unique stuff and not just rehashes of things we've seen before. And that goes for the lore and the story too. I'm going into this cautiously optimistic, partly because of just overall. AAA releases have generally been disappointing lately.
Yeah.
Aside from aside from Hogwarts, which I was not disappointed by that, even though it fell short on some of the RPG elements that I was hoping for, it was an incredibly immersive and fun experience, and the world was just really well built. But yeah, you look at Cyberpunk, you look at Fallout, which Fallout 76 has apparently gotten a lot better, but I just can't bring myself to load it up again. There's just too many other fun games to play, too many new games to play. So this one, again, I really hope it's not just Fallout in space or Elder Scrolls in space. Yeah. Having some of those elements, sure. I hope it stands on its own. I hope it's an incredible adventure game with a really good story that doesn't rely on cliches. And I'm a little worried that it's going to be a cliched story, just seeing like the big metal rings. I mean, how many times have we seen that kind of a thing? So I hope it's not just another, some ancient civilization built this ancient tech that's ring shaped, and we need to find it and then either stop the enemies from using it or destroy it or whatever.
Ancient precursors leaving behind giant structures in space. That's just so much fun, though. I mean,
it's cool, but it's also been done to death, though.
And it's more done to death than because what's one of the earliest space games that you can remember? I remember the one that you flew around on space, and each star was a pixel. Yes, each star was a pixel, and you could fly around and stuff like that. And you had your ship, and you had to like track or get something within a certain amount of time. I can't remember the name of it. If anybody wants to remind me.
Are you talking about Star Control? Which is, by the way,
Star Control.
the other game I was trying to think of was Star Control.
So old. Been like, but all of those elements just perfectly in there. And that for the old boys, and I feel like Star Control is what inspired Todd to make this game. And that he had been waiting for tech to arrive so that he could make this game. And I think that's really good. I really hope that it really nails it just perfectly. But I don't know. We'll see.
We will see. Like I said, cautious optimism. I hope the story does not just rely on those cliches. The ancient civilizations leaving behind technology that we have to. I guess I just want something fresh. It's not that that's a bad way to go with a story, but it's been done so many times. I guess I'm just wanting something new. I feel like not every story, and I realize this playing Hogwarts again, not every story has to be about saving the entire universe or the grand epic. Like stories can be narrower in scope and still be really deep and really meaningful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I hope it's not a whole "you're the chosen one who has to save the universe" kind of a thing. I just hope it doesn't rely on those old cliches. If it does, doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be bad. If it's got really good gameplay, if it's got really good combat, and exploration and other types of mechanics, if it's got really good gameplay, if the story's a little bit mid, then that could still be a really, really solid experience. But if the gameplay is mid and the story is mid, well, then it's just going to be a mid game, which would be a disappointing way for Starfield to go down in history. Mm-hmm. Again, this being a game that Todd's been envisioning for decades now. This being a game that, it's nice to see something coming out of Bethesda that's not Fallout or Elder Scrolls. Not that there's anything bad about any of those, but the something fresh is nice. You want to see it succeed, and I've been wanting a really awesome, epic space game like this. Outer Worlds was was almost that, but I mean, Outer Worlds did scratch that itch somewhat. But you know, it's a smaller scope game. There's only so many planets you can visit, or so many planets they could create, in the time and budget they had. You know, it doesn't have all the features. It doesn't have the freedom and openness of a Bethesda game. So you think Outer Worlds was disappointing? I can see why. I really liked it. I've never have finished it, but I really enjoyed the time that I've played it. Stacks of Arcadia says, even if the story follows tropes as video games tend to do, if the gameplay is unique enough as well as replayable, it's a win. Agreed.
Yeah.
Like I said, if the story is a little bit, I've been thinking a lot about what's really, does gameplay trump story, or does story trump gameplay? Like, which would I rather have? And I would rather have amazing gameplay and a slightly less amazing story than vice versa. Because if you have a really, really good story and the gameplay is kind of meh, well, you might as well watch a movie, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
there is something to be said that, you know, a really good narrative, right? Like,
I want a good narrative. I would like to have both, like a really, really good narrative plus really, really good gameplay. But gameplay, at this point, gameplay trumps it for me.
Mm-hmm.
There are times when I'm like, well, sometimes the story is so good that it makes up for very mid gameplay. Like, what's that sci-fi flying car delivery game that was really good? It's like a little indie game, and like it's the gameplay
taxi.
mechanics.
I don't know.
Yeah. What's it called? A few people on our server were really into it at the same time I was. I'll just look through my list and I'll find it. It's Cloudpunk. Yeah.
Cloudpunk.
Cloudpunk is just, it's basically, I mean, it's essentially a walking simulator. You're delivering things, but the atmosphere and the story are so good. Like, it's a delivery mechanism for a really cool cyberpunk story, right? And sometimes you want that, but that's not what I want in a Bethesda game. I want really good gameplay and good story.
A good combination of both, like a balance.
So I hope they do some more unique things with the combat. Like, you can have, I think, again, Hogwarts. I sorry to keep coming back to Hogwarts, but it showed how you can really change up a combat system and do some unique, cool things with it. And even though at its core, it's still the same basic, you know, shooting enemies, or there wasn't really melee attacks in it, but at its core, it's the same as any other combat system. But you can iterate on the concept and give it a different, you know, a very different feel, and do all kinds of cool things with it that really makes it feel different. And I think, you know, with the technology of the Starfield setting, they could, there's really some good opportunities to do some creative stuff. So I'm hoping it's not just, you know, point and shoot kind of a thing. I'm hoping it's more like what we were, I guess, more along the lines of what Cyberpunk did, with lots of different ways to utilize the technology to hack things, to use your different cyberware to do all kinds of crazy abilities, stuff like that. You know, regardless of how well you think Cyberpunk did at that, I'm hoping it's more along those lines than just the kind of Fallout shoot it stuff kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway,
time will tell. So
yeah, so that's just it, right? Don't pre-order. This is,
so I think we're gonna have basically radio silence until June, which is basically 3 months from today. And then what do we got? So it's almost 3 months from today. It's 3 months from this Saturday.
Right.
Pretty much
June 11th.
exactly. And then we've got after that, it's basically again take away the time difference that we have between this. It's 1, 2, and then 3 months from there. So it's 6 months away, almost to the dot. Like not like almost to the day.
6 months plus 1 day. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is. Again, it is more of a delay than they promised. So they broke their promise on that.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
yeah.
Well, did they promise that, or was that?
Well,
just...
it was Microsoft was making this big say. Everything you see here today is going to be playable this year, except for Starfield, which definitely took.
When was that?
delay.
That was
That was
back
in the
summer?
E3 summer time last year. Yeah. And so they said everything that you see here today is going to be out within 12 months.
I couldn't remember if we had seen Starfield at that presentation or not.
Yes, that was the first trailer that we got, like actual trailer.
So September 9th.
And
that's interesting.
During that time, we also had the release date, which was the promise of November, and then we missed that, and then then they've got this. So their backup release date was almost like a year away, 10 months away. Oof, that's a big miss as far as time. But again, judging from previous
are
games,
we surprised? Yeah, I mean,
we want something that's actually done, not something that's
I'm not even fully convinced.
Release.
I'm not even fully convinced we're gonna get this game in 2023. Like, I think Bethesda's probably pretty confident in this release date at this point. I would imagine it's probably going to come out on September 9th, 2023, but if there was another delay, will I be surprised? Not one bit. But I mean, that said, I do think they're probably fairly confident at this point. But I'm just so used to games being delayed now that when a delay happens, I'm like, oh, okay. It doesn't even faze me. It's like, all right, well, when it's out, it's out. Guardian Black, welcome. Says, I get what he's saying, but Bethesda games are traditional RPG games at their heart. When you get midway in their games, you usually have to have a build that's just one-shotting enemies most of the time. Yeah, well, hopefully, and I mean, that's a trap that a lot of games fall into. I mean, it's like, it's like when you, in a lot of games, you get to the mid game or close to the end game, and you have endless money.
Your way through everything.
Well, there's that, plus you just have endless money at that point because there's nothing left to buy. There's nothing left to buy. You have and you're
surplus
just finding
of
money
inventory.
Everywhere. If they had some kind of a system that deducted from your resources every now and then for living expenses, like, I don't want a game where it forces you to stop and eat some people like that. Some people want that, and there will be mods that let you do that. It's like there are with or hardcore, or like Fallout hardcore mode, whatever.
I saw that somebody made a mod for that actually on the Cyberpunk game, and I was like, oh, that's interesting to keep track of. A little too much maintenance for me, but I don't mind that factor
some people
when I'm
really
doing
want
base
that
management, though.
Right, exactly. Some people want a game where you have to eat, sleep, drink water, where you really, have limited energy, that kind of a thing, and really role play this character. Or as Notional says, you got to save all the potions for when you really need them, never use them. Yeah, exactly. That's more of a player trap, I think. So I actually like it when you can only carry limited potions, or whatever, because then it's like, well, then
only
you can
5
use them,
corn juice.
Only 5 what? Sorry.
Corn juice.
Corn juice.
Yeah, that's That's the game reference. Jamuse has been playing through it. I already binged it, but yeah, no, there's like this character who sells you like these like HP potions, but it's corn juice.
The corn juice, yeah.
Yes, Anno Mutationum. Very fun, very beautiful. But yeah.
New Vegas had a hardcore mode like that. Yeah, and I think, Fallout 4 survival mode had that kind of a... Did survival mode in Fallout 4 require you to eat and drink, that kind of thing? I don't remember.
I want to say yes.
Yeah, they did. They had a mode that they added in like later on.
Yeah, I remember we did a video on it when it came out.
Yeah, and that is, I mean, that is good. Like, I like that kind of stuff. I like that general level of difficulty.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to have to stop and have my character use the bathroom 3 times a day, but if that mode, I think, is good to include for people.
I feel so sorry for your character. They must be so constipated.
They're gonna have health problems.
They must be having nightmares. Oh, good lord.
But if there was some kind of system where it's like you have to, where it assumes you have to eat and drink, and so it like deducts some of your money or resources now and then, so you kind of have to scavenge and find food, or if it like automatically eats some food for you to kind of to give you a reason to actually go out and explore and find resources when after you get to that point in the game where you just have endless money. That I'd like that kind of a system, but yeah, I mean, to each their own. Like, so I'm sure it's going to have some of the regular RPG stuff like that. Like, you're going to stock up on healing things that you'll never use, and you'll have endless money at some point. But oh well, those games are still fun, right?
Yeah,
we still play them. And yes, having that replayability though, so you can start over, try a different build. And what I'd like to be able to start over and take the story in a completely different direction, like go to a different planet right off the bat that I've never been to, and like do the story in a different way, so it's almost like a brand new game.
I would like to have a dinosaur colony.
I guess I'm kind of thinking outside. I'm kind of thinking like, what would my ideal version of this game be? Will it be that? Probably not. Will it still be fun? Well, it definitely could be. So, but yeah, cautious optimism. Don't pre-order. No studio is well, as we've seen. I mean, we saw CD Projekt Red fall from grace. A lot of people thought they could do no wrong, and I think we fell into that a little bit with our coverage of it. They had a good track record at that point, but then they completely misled us about what Cyberpunk was going to be. So hopefully that won't happen, but it can happen. Thankfully, I think unlike CD Projekt Red coming off the Witcher games, Bethesda has kind of set the bar a little lower for themselves. So, if this game if this game is really good, we're gonna feel like it's an absolute banger, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Polly's in the chat says, "You can't do that, Ash. You are the chosen one. You see the space vision. You have to go and save the galaxy. Ah! Also remember, another colony needs your help."
Nice. Yeah, thanks, Preston.
Somebody really did not like that in that game. I'm not going to name names, but I have it on good authority that somebody absolutely hated that Preston guy. I think that's basically everybody, though.
Yeah, I think Preston got on everyone's nerves. Another colony needs your help, and be sure to offer help to anyone that needs it. It's like, I get it, Preston. We're the benevolent good guys. I get it, But I got other stuff to do.
So many demands.
Yep.
Places to be. People to see.
I mean, it was... they had the beginnings of a good system there where you could clear out an area and then the settlers would start to come in and build a new colony.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to micromanage it. I didn't want to build like 20 colonies on the Fallout 4
I got
map.
really tired of going back to each colony because they're like, hey, there's a problem here. Okay, now there's a problem here. Now they're there. Oh my gosh. I want to set my settings and have you guys just manage stuff. Are you that helpless, really? Really?
Well, I wish they would have built stuff. I wish they, because I didn't build anything. And so I'd go back and rescue them because the super mutants were attacking. And it was just a bunch of people standing around.
It got better with mods and like with their own patches. It got a lot better. And like even like vanilla Fallout 4 is really good right now. But if you install just cursory group of mods, it's so much better on so many levels. So yeah, it's not something that I would write off, obviously. Obviously.
Oh, I'm not saying Fallout 4 was a bad game. It had it actually had a lot of really good stuff to it. You know, people found the world a little bland in some ways, and I get that. I had a blast playing it. Would I go back and play it again? Well, I don't really know. But probably not, just again, because there's too much new stuff to play. But if I was in a different position and, you know, didn't have new games to play, I might go back and check it out again, because yeah, I had a good time with that one. But remember, the galaxy is burning, so hurry. But first, build your base and don't forget to water your space potatoes.
Ah, yes, space potatoes.
That's another reason I don't want that whole "you're the chosen one, save the universe" cliche. Because, you know, whenever there's a false time limit, we had that in Cyberpunk. We had that in... Well, I mean, it's in so many games where it's like, oh, this is an urgent threat. But you can dick around for 40 hours in the game, and it makes no difference.
Right.
I mean, you have that happen in games, but I'm an MMO player. I remember distinctly many times where I'm like, yes, fighting, you know, some low-level things, and then an army arrives around the corner, and we're like, oh no, what are we gonna do? And the like, we're heroes, right? But then the main heroes show up, and they're like, problem solved with one wave of my hand, and now I'm going to disappear for the rest of the expansion, and you can deal with all the other problems. And it's like, shouldn't you be like more active in this world, Mr. Giant, like central like narrative plot device character? So yeah, I mean, as long as we don't have that, I think we're looking in good. I think we're looking good. And I always like to get my hands dirty anyways, so yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I'm very, 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 very optimistic. I think we're really looking at something that is going to have great success, and I think that it's only a matter of time before this is proven 100%. As always, don't pre-order. Like, don't pre-order. Don't pre-order.
No pre-ordering.
No.
Pre-ordering's bad.
But
unless you do it like the day before, because you're gonna buy it anyway.
Yeah, but you don't need to feel like this is, you know, like we're losing yet another big company. I don't think we are. I think we're getting something that's, you know, going to be really, really worth it in the long run. So that's my 2 cents. Also, again, we apologize that it was so scuffed. We'll try and edit this video better for reviewing after a bit, or maybe upload sections of it and then take this one down. Thank you all for coming along. I haven't slept for about 2 days, so I'm gonna go to bed now, and I hope everybody has things to look forward to, because I think that we're getting there.
Yes. I think so.
Not
too.
all doom and gloom around here.
Things to look forward to. Hopefully.
Games. No, sorry, I was muted there. There are lots of great games around right now. I've been playing, and I've actually been live streaming Hitman World of Assassination. It's a blast. It's an absolute blast.
And Kikas TG says we have Everspace 2 soon.
Soon, TM. Actually, I don't know when that one's supposed to be coming out.
Yeah, soon, TM. Soon.
Soon, TM.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
All right. So.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll water the space potatoes, Polly's. Jeez.
Yes, and if you haven't
Slave driver.
smash that like button, subscribe to us, check out our other stuff, and join our Discord. Yes, all the things. Okay.
Do all the things.
Okay. Bye.